we cannot wallow in that. So what does it look like? What can you do to prevent yourself from staying in that painful place? And so the list is so then without just certain things, if there's something that makes you smile or happy or used to make you smile or happy, do that. A hobby that does not require you to be in close proximity of someone. Again, if you had a hobby that required you to be in close proximity of someone, try to or some type of work. These things, it's not to say you're denying your feelings, but again, we can't sit in them 24/7. We can't sit in them all day. We can acknowledge them. We can know that they're there. We can try and work through them, but then we do to move about our lives. We have to move on. Moving on, leaving them behind, no, not what I mean, because you'll always remember your loved one. I heard Mr. Quelan say 20 years, and he still thinks about it. You know, that okay, if I breathe properly, I'm not over it anymore, or it doesn't hurt anymore. No, it just means you can start to talk about them from a place, from a victory place, from a health intent pain that you once had.
Closure. And so, you know, I personally know some individuals, actually over in Louisiana, their father died, and they unfortunately, as you all know, they had to, a lot of funeral companies are doing it right now, and the viewing is only a few people inside at a time. Literally, do is something that I encourage others who had to deal with similar situation, and that is an intervention we use is truly talk to the person. And I understand they're not here in the flesh anymore. You know, I would talk to them, tell them everything that you wish you could have told them. You know, begin to seek the closure that way. That's okay to do. I talk to my grandmother all the time. One of my mentors passed, Miss Lattimore, she lived in Miami. I didn't know. Happened. But I remember sitting down here in my office and just kind of talking to her about the things she gave to me. So I do that because for at your own pace to go to the feeling. It doesn't matter if you don't deal, you will eventually have to deal with interacting with that you may have lost. So it would consist of talking to them, tell them everything that's on your mind, things you wish you could have said. Tell it has something to do with possibly journaling if that's your thing. It has something to do, like when Doc said, going out while you're reminiscing on the good times, or whatever time would be, because it's not always good. We know no matter how much we love them, but some activity together. And so, the part of the acceptance is knowing you may not get that closure in person. You will spiritually and mentally. You still can move forward with the things you have to do or be at least acceptable for you to get that closure.
Sometimes you may not feel comfortable, you know, if you're one of those persons who knows, writing them a letter. Mr. Cleveland mentioned journaling. Journaling is a really good way too, and especially if it's someone that you used to talk to on a regular basis. maybe every day, several times a day. I always say have a journal, and every time you feel like you wanted to pick up the phone and call them, write it down instead. Writing that letter, and that would do the same thing as all the things that you couldn't tell them. You just tell them again. Tell them in that letter. Social media has been the thing now. So having maybe with family a meeting where there can be a virtual coming together. It can be organized, or it can just be by you guys just chatting it up. If it's organized, have someone write a happy or a fun time of that person, and you guys just go around and talk about that. You guys can just get on and just talk and support each other in any way you feel that they may be appropriate. So there are, when I talk about not putting ourselves in this box, there are very unconventional ways that we can have the closure that we often are not getting during this time, whether it be maybe because you weren't able to be with them, or because you have the funeral services or be with family. So I'm trying to think outside the box of ways that you guys can connect.
I think we've come to the end of our journey. I hope everybody enjoyed this so far. So it'll take a few minutes to just open up the line.
Talk about that loss of, that social interaction, especially for our teenagers and our school-age kids. That was much of their time being engaged with their peers, and all of a sudden, none of that. I think it's conversations with them, and this too will depend on the relationship. So if you are one who maybe did not have a strong relationship with your teenager, in that you were not communicating a lot before, especially about the tough things. Start off like by talking to them, engaging with them on a lighter level, and then gradually what they're experiencing. If you are one who, give them the space, and while they know you are there to listen, saying out loud and help them open up as well. But it's going to start with talking, because not every teenager is the same thing. Not every teenager is experiencing the same thing. Our seniors experience something very different than our juniors, and even than our sophomores or freshmen, because of the phase in they are in their schools and the things that they have to. And in those conversations, really listening to what they are needing with their peers. Creating that via any type of social media, making it a big event for them when that time comes, just like you would have in a different way if this had not happened. So it's going to first start by listening to what they need and just being as creative as possible, coming from the heart, and trying to meet that need in an unconventional way or conventional way.
I want to say on that, because I've dealt with a lot of children and stuff like that in my career path. I want to say talking to kids and giving them a voice helps, kind of listening to what they have, kind of directing them on trying to figure it out for themselves in terms of coming up with other ways to connect. Allow them to tell you some of the things that they like, some of the things that they like to do with their friends, and then kind of help them think of it from a different perspective. How can you connect versus, I can't connect, and so helping them boys to understand that they can come up with ways on their own, and you just kind of guide them through it. It always helps.
I totally agree. Now, we, of course, there are lots of things our teenagers do that we may not like or may not understand. But doing it with them anyway. You probably hadn't picked up a game controller in your life, but if that's what they're doing, sit down with them and try it. Just a way to just connect on their level. You might not get it right, you might not ever learn, but it's not about that. It's about you reaching them where they are, and letting them know are there for them.
Yeah, that's good. Mr. Cleveland.
Good. It's been said.
Okay. We got another question. How do you quickly help someone with the loss of a child in short term? I delivered a baby on Mother's Day was inconsolable. But I feel as Christians walking in faith, I should be able to offer.
I'll speak only to the individual who delivered the child. As compassionate individuals, and as Christians, you'll scramble, whether it's this situation or the other, to help console someone. But it really does go back to what we said before. There's always only so much that you can do in any case because an individual has to deal with grief alone. Ultimately, they have to do the journey alone. And so I would encourage you, especially this man, to just be there, be present, can. But just be present and because individuals are going home and returning to their lives. That those couple moments of you being attentive, being present, having some resources to put in their hands, doing that, look for the worst, but if that's a part of your occupation, then I would definitely begin to build more resources and learn more so that people, if that may happen, or you may know someone that has put them in the right direction to grieve.
To say to that, there are no quick fixes. So the short term, what they need immediately is going to be different than what they need in 2 days, 5 days, a week, month, year, and so on. So where words aren't necessary at all, and maybe I'll call it embrace, because if you are in the profession and experience that with someone, so that embrace is helping to physiologically release things within them. It's going to help them through this process at that moment. And so it's not just a hug, but as a person in the health profession, it is important for us to know that what needs to be resources, and like Mr. Cleveland said, there is only so much that we know. At present, words are not always necessary. Sometimes just a physical presence, knowing someone else is there who cares, enough in the moment. But it's nothing going to be able to rush. She has resources for when she is ready to go to the next step with it.
value a hug, especially during this time. That is almost invaluable. Just that embrace, like Dr. Angela said, that embrace is almost invaluable because people are not able to even be physically with people to help them. So that's a big value to people. And then furthermore, even when you can't be there, scripturally, the Bible says he sees it. So how does he send the word? You can send the word prayer. You can send the word on the phone. You can send the word social media, text, in different ways. You can send the word to someone in they need it. So those are some suggestions. So any other questions? Go ahead.
I have, this is Elise, just kind of comment on this particular situation, not from a performance, but just a personal experience, go through a loss of a child. For me, during the time that I was in the hospital, what even all of these years later, which has still remained with me, is that each and every healthcare professional that entered that room, first, their tone of voice made a huge difference and has still remained with me. And the other thing was the touch. They literally, most of them came in. Of these years later, it has still with me. So sometimes trying to find those words may be the best for the person that is experiencing that loss. Sometimes that simple touch will go much, much further. So that's it. That's all I have right now.
Yeah.
Any question? Thank you.
Absolutely.
Someone else?
Yes, a question that says, what should mapping out a new reality or routine start to look like for life after COVID? So I think to answer that question, right now we are in a time where there are lives that we're living in, but it doesn't mean that what is within we control, we let that go. So what is what life is going to be like tomorrow and maybe a week, right? Unless they change something. But to talk about what the reality is in the future, step by step, as we are provided accurate information, because to plan for well into the future, and it may leave you more, because then when you're around, you're at a loss again.
Yeah.
Work within the realm of information